Welcome back. My next guest needs no introduction. We are getting a lot of vital information on this show, and welcome to the show, Miss Sherry Dorsey Walker.
Thank you for having me.
You are always fabulous.
Oh, as are you.
Oh. So, okay, we're going to get right to it because this is very important information. So just let us know what's going on here.
Well, actually, I just left the Christina School Board meeting, and what we were discussing, well, let's go back to Friday. Friday, we had a press conference at Pulaski Elementary School, and I say we, myself, the community, Dr. Andrzejewski, who is the acting superintendent for the Christina School District, as well as several board members from the Christina School Board. And one of the things that we discussed, one of the main things that's going on at Pulaski is the school is now littered with mold, mildew, mice, maggots, and termites.
Wow.
And that's the school for our children who are kindergarten through 5th grade. And for me, that's a major concern because what is it doing to our children internally? Mold, one of the side effects of mold is fatigue. One of the other side effects is an inability to focus, and it hurts you as far as retention.
Yes.
So our children are having a hard time in the classroom. So I think one of the other things that we possibly need to do, aside from shutting down Pulaski, even if it takes a week or two to get it cleaned properly, but let's not shortchange our children. These are our babies.
Yes, definitely.
And we should never put our children in a position where we're putting them in harm's way. Pulaski is literally 2 blocks from the school that I attended for all 12 years, St. Elizabeth's School.
Okay.
And after leaving Pulaski, I went home after leaving that press conference. And I was at St. Elizabeth's and I said, aside from God, my family, and my community, because it does take a village to raise a child, as you well know, my school community was my haven.
Yes.
And so my school community was just an extension of what I was learning at home. Well, what's happening to our children, who a lot of them are traumatized in the community in which they live, and then they're going to school and they're seeing mice and the mildew and the mold. Now, some of them don't even know that the mold exists right there in their classroom.
Wow.
One of the children who's a kindergartner, his name tag was across the top of his desk. And of course, taking a picture of it, he couldn't take the picture with the child's name, flipped it over, and it was all black mold, mildew, and where the mice had urinated on his name tag. And I was in one of the offices, and one of the educators shared with me, I said, well, what is this on the windowsill? One of the educators said, I just cleaned that a half hour ago.
Wow.
It was mice feces.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. And the scary part is those of us who, we all have young people, what is the first thing they do? Hands and mouth.
Hands and mouth.
Hands and mouth. I say it all the time. Take your hands out.
Yes.
But just think they're touching this and hands and mouth.
And speaking with some of the educators at the school, and of course we cannot say their names because we don't want any of them to be, their jobs to be in jeopardy.
Yes.
But it's a concern for me that we have educators, and I just said this at the board meeting, we have educators whose doctors have sent notes. I actually have copies of these notes where the doctor has said, due to mold exposure, and it's in all capital letters, that this educator must wear a mask.
Oh my goodness.
If this educator is to be in the building.
Wow.
And so if this is a grown person, what's
What about the
happening to our
baby?
babies?
Yes.
Yes, and so and that same note also stated every child needs to be tested.
Wow. Yeah. And do we know about how many children in Pulaski? Pulaski is a large school, isn't it?
It is. I believe there are 500 children at Pulaski, approximately 500. And every last one of those children, if you go inside of Pulaski, there's structure at that school.
Yeah.
The babies are so well behaved. I mean, you always have those that I don't call, that's what I say. I say they're active. I never call children bad. I say they're a little active. But in this case, what is the mold doing to those who are a little more active than others?
Right.
If I'm having a problem remembering what I just learned, I'm in kindergarten. 2 + 2 is supposed to be 4.
Exactly.
And I should know that on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and the next week after I've learned it. But if one of the side effects of mold is the inability to retain information, then what happens to that kindergartner when he or she becomes a 3rd grader?
So what do we want the community to do now?
We need the community to really become engaged with this issue and realize that this is an environmental injustice issue.
Yes.
And a lot of times our community doesn't think about environmental issues.
You're right.
But this is major. And what we need the community to do is to make sure we continue to talk to the district.
Okay.
And if it requires talking to the district about closing the school so that we get the school cleaned properly, then so be it. What is it going to cost us? In the long run, we'll have children who will go back and educate the community.
That's it.
But if we don't take care of this problem now, then look at the feeder schools and look at what will ultimately happen to our children. They'll be going by the wayside.
And we know you're always available. So if someone wants to get information and contact you, how do they do that?
They can send an email to me at Sherry Dorsey Walker at gmail.com, and that's Sherry, SHERRY, Dorsey, DORSEY, Walker, WALKER, at gmail.com. You're welcome to ring me at 302-777-3712. And a lot of you know that I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, as well as LinkedIn, so you can send me a message and I respond expeditiously. I cannot have you standing by the wayside. This is a major issue and we need the entire community to get involved with this. We're talking about our babies and our educators.
That's it. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming and sharing.
Absolutely.
And again, I want to thank you all for watching. And we will see you next time. And I hope this lets you know we're always available, not only when you bring your young people on to showcase their talents or let us know what they're doing, but if you have information that we need to get out to help our young people, please feel free to always call me at 302-652-8887 or email me at kim@congofuneralhome.com. Thank you for watching and see you next time.